Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Nez Nation Lion. I'm your host, Professor Nez. Come on in. Happy Election Eve. Come on in, everybody. If you're watching on the replay, give me a capital TR in the comments. Also, I want to know if you voted. Make a father, make a husband, make a patriot happy. Just something like a thumbs up emoji, an American flag emoji, so I know who you voted for. No, I would really love to know if you're planning on voting, if you've already voted. It is November 4th, 2024. We are 24 hours away from the biggest night of our lives. And by the way, we are going to be going live. We are going to be going live election night, Tuesday. And we're going to be going live at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, and that is going to be what is that? 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So we're going to be going live tomorrow night. Now, Nez, how do I know? Well, you can subscribe to the channel, which is free. You can also sign up for our free newsletter, which is in the pinned comment, and that's absolutely free. I got a lot of stuff to share with you, so I would love to see you guys tomorrow. We got the best mods in the house. Laura and Jim are in the house. That means we can start. Good to see you, Robert, Yanisa. Oh, by the way, I said this before and I'll say it again. We had a huge giveaway to celebrate passing 400,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And I gave away over $300 worth of Amazon gift cards and merch. I'm telling you right now, I've said it once and I'll say it again. If we get our country back tomorrow, if things happen the way they should, Professor Nez, I only watch Professor Nez because, quite frankly, probably he tells the truth more than anybody out there. He's not nasty like Kamala. Kamala, you're fired. If we actually fire her tomorrow, I am going to be telling Professor Nez to give away something massive. It's going to be huge. You gotta be there. Thank you, Mr. President. I love you. If he wins and we get our country back tomorrow, expect something insane as far as a giveaway tomorrow, because I'll be so bonkers happy as a father, as a husband, as a patriot, somebody who loves his country and bleeds red, white, and blue. It will be the greatest day. Why? Not for us, not for me, not for you. It's the greatest thing for our country, for all of us. So stay tuned. Definitely follow up and definitely join us tomorrow night. I promise you, you're not going to want to miss this. Okay. So the title of this stream today and the title of this show, something I never expected, Mr. Hope and Change. This was an all-time new low. We are less than a day away, and they are, to me, utterly convinced that there is no way, shape, or form that their cackler, phony, fraud-in-chief candidate can win, and they've resorted to the most basest, the lowest form of advocacy I've ever seen. So low, they've set the bar so low, they've gone so subterranean in their efforts that, quite honestly, my fellow Americans, I was surprised. Remember, this American right here, your boy, Professor Nez, I voted for Trump 3 times, but much to my chagrin, much to my regret, I voted for Obama in 2012. Probably the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. And you expect Kamala to be completely full of it. You expect Biden to be a vegetable and completely out of it. I got to be honest with you, I expected more from President Obama. So stick around. I'm going to talk about that. But first, do you remember this guy? Do you remember this guy right here? Yep, that's right. So, Olympic boxing medalist, the Algerian boxer, I don't even know how I can say his name, Iman Khalif, who won the gold at the Paris Olympics in women's boxing, something that I commented on. I did a video about this during the Olympics this past summer, where I said we actually watched an Olympic event where a man was able to abuse a woman on national television, on international television, not even that. The whole world watched a man domestically abuse a woman and get awarded for it. Well, guess what? He has now been confirmed. Leaks have shown in a leaked report has revealed that the Algerian boxer who won the gold at the Paris Olympics has XY chromosomes and internal testes. The findings, what a big shock. If you're surprised by that, let me know in the comments. The findings linked to a rare sexual development disorder have sparked outrage among women's sports advocates, more specifically Riley Gaines, who I absolutely love and support. She has been a major, major advocate. I have a daughter, I have a wife, I have a mother, I've got powerful. My grandmother who raised me was one of the most powerful people, never mind women or men, because it's not about that. See, we don't think in terms of gender or color or ethnicity or race, because those are things that are completely out of your control. We judge on merit. What do you do with what you were given? How hard you work? What's your character like? Are you working on who you are? Do you tell the truth? Do you not just want handouts and sit back and want freebies while the rest of us, sweat, blood, sweat, and tears? Are you somebody who contributes? Are you somebody who has morals, who has principles, who has values, integrity? That's a meritocracy. That's America. That's what this country was founded on. So we don't see things like that. I was raised by an amazing human being. Yes, she was my grandmother. Yes, she was female. And this outrage, this insanity of having men play in women's sports, this insanity of being so woke and so walking on tiptoe eggshells in such a backward ass society and actually letting men into women's locker rooms and bathrooms and vice versa is insane. It's just absolutely insane. Pardon me, I got a little thing on my glasses here. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Hold on, I got to wipe my glasses. So here's what happened. There was an international leak. We're live, so anything can happen live. There was an international leak, and okay, now I can see. I can see. Okay. You didn't think I had a good voice. Treat me like a fool. Treat me mean and cruel. But love me. Elvis is the greatest of all time. Don't argue with me on that, okay? So I really want to hear what you guys think of this, because this is absolutely insane. And I think this is what we call justice. This is what we call justice. So Icon's co-founder Marshy Smith condemned the IOC for allowing Khalif to compete, calling it an endorsement of male violence against women. And now there's going to be an investigation, and his medals, I hope, will be revoked and returned to the rightful owner, an actual female who deserves it. And I really hope to God, if you needed another reason to vote for Trump, I really hope to God that this sets a new precedent and exemplifies and displays the insanity in full technicolor of what this ideology purports. We can't have, there are just, it's like, it's absolutely preposterous to think, that women and men, why do we even have women's sports? Then why not just obliterate women's sports? Because somebody feels. Feelings do not equate with biology. Because somebody feels like they're a woman, they're able to take advantage in the most egregious manner. So this is really, really big news. And I hope to God that this gets exposed for what it is. And here's Riley Gaines. I'm gonna share this actually. Here's Riley Gaines's post on X, where she says this, which I think is so poignant, by the way. Remember the man who won an Olympic gold medal in women's boxing? His medical reports show he has XY chromosomes, male testosterone levels, testicles, and a micro what? Holy mackerel. But that never mattered. They believe that words and feelings make you a woman, not biology. When are we going to say enough is enough, America? We are 24 hours away. When are we going to say enough is enough? And I just really hope Trump has actually announced several times in his policies that he is going to take a very hard line stance against men and women's sports, against men and women's locker rooms. Tampon Tim, who is one of the strongest advocates, his wife going around the country, Tampon Tim Walls, his wife going around the entire country and saying that tampons in boys' bathrooms is actually a healthy thing. It's a healthy thing to put tampons in boys' bathrooms. When are we going to make America sane again, everybody? I really hope that this sets a whole new precedent, and we just get back to common sense, for crying out loud. So that was really big. Now, something that this is really huge news. I want to share this with you. This is absolutely monumental. John Federman, okay, senator from Pennsylvania, was on the Joe Rogan podcast. Now, some of you guys might not know this, but Rogan, and I've said this many times, whether you like it or not, I actually love his show. I think he is the greatest interviewer in modern times. I think he's the greatest conversationalist in modern times. He is the king of long form content, besides your boy, of course. I have to throw myself in there because I've got an ego and I believe in myself. And quite frankly, probably you would agree, Professor Nez is quite the conversationalist. Anyway, I'm teasing. Rogan is like the Johnny Carson. Many of you guys are my age, and you remember the power and influence before the internet that Johnny Carson had on modern entertainment culture. He was the Julius Caesar, from the 60s on to the 90s. And if you were a musician, if you were a comedian, if you were a film director, an actor, anything along those lines, even a politician, Reagan's, he's had presidents on there, he's had senators. If you went on the Johnny Carson show and you got the thumbs up, that essentially made your career. Your career skyrocketed after that. And much is the same with the Joe Rogan podcast, which is very telling that Kamala Harris, in her elitist, self-important, self-absorbed, phony, cackling way, declined to go to Joe Rogan, but got on a jet and flew to New York City to do Saturday Night Live, which was actually illegal because Saturday Night Live gets free public airwaves and they need to afford equal amounts of time to both candidates. And so they actually committed an illegal act by giving Kamala Harris that free airtime that they've been afforded by taxpayers, as a matter of fact. So she's willing to fly to Saturday Night Live, but she refuses. That's telling. That should tell you everything, Nez Nation, my fellow Americans. If you're independent and undecided, which I have, it just leaves me absolutely flabbergasted that you don't know who you're going to be voting for right now. I saw some video last night going viral of Don Lemon. It wasn't viral because it was Don Lemon, but he had an undecided voter. A guy was like, yeah, I still need time to think about it. Even he was in shock. I don't know how you could be. If you're undecided right now, let me know in the comments, and please give me some context. Let me know why, how, what, who, what in the world. How are you still undecided when we are less than 24 hours away from finding out who's going to be running and gaining the highest office in the land in our country? And why? Give me a big, fat reason why you're still undecided. It makes zero sense to me. I plead ignorance. To me, it seems very clear cut. To me, it seems like a real easy choice. But I plead ignorance. Let me know. Educate me. I'm willing to learn. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm a lifelong learner. I sound like I sound like a ridiculous woke leftist. I'm a lifelong learner. I believe in joy, and I also believe in tolerance and DEI and inclusivity. Pass me the hemp. Anyway, um, I would really love to hear why, but going on Rogan is essentially and declining to go on Rogan, which by the way, Trump's Rogan podcast, his Rogan appearance has over 100 million views. Over 100 million views. The only podcast that the cackler in chief, Kamala, went on, the only podcast that she went on was this lascivious, very lowbrow, call her daddy podcast, where I don't listen or watch the podcast, but due to my research, I found out it's a very lascivious, um, just kind of low grade, almost like a porn podcast. It's very, very expletive and edgy, if you want to call it that. That's the only polite way I can say it. To me, it just seems like trash. Her appearance on that podcast over 2 weeks ago has garnered less than 700,000 views. Trump, so we got 700,000 views on the trashy Call Her Daddy podcast versus 100 million views. And I think JD Vance's appearance on Joe Rogan, which by the way, I highly, highly recommend. Check out Rogan. I know you guys probably all saw Trump's. Check out Rogan's interview with JD Vance. It's beautiful. It's remarkable. Even my wife, who is an excellent judge of character, obviously, she's terrific because she married me and she married who I call, quite frankly, probably the greatest YouTube channel on planet Earth, and that's Professor Nez. Kamala, you're fired. Um, Even she said this guy is super likable. Like JD Vance is down to earth, intelligent, articulate. He's a guy's guy, self made, bootstrap, pulled himself up from abject poverty. He's the emblem of the American dream. And his interview with Rogan, I think, has over 10 million views. So the vice presidential candidate, somebody that hardly anybody knows anything about until he was picked as VP, he has millions and millions of views over Kamala. And you're going to tell me that this election is neck and neck? Are you kidding me? Impossible. So, having said that, John Federman, he went on the Rogan podcast, and I have subtitles for this. And he essentially admitted that, well, let's just watch it. Oh my God, this is insane. But it has to do with Rogan really pinning him down on the insane border crisis, the worst border crisis in the history of our country, and pinning him down on what is the significance, what is the motivation, the incentive of essentially pulling out the red carpet to all of these illegal criminal migrants. And listen to this, watch this. We're going to watch this together. Holy mackerel, this is huge. Watch this. So he thinks it's generally for a good thing. So you've got, I can't believe this. You've got a Democratic senator, okay, on the Joe Rogan podcast who perpetuates the lie of the border bill, the bipartisan border bill, which it was. And by the way, this is another thing that Kamala talks about all the time, right? That, oh, it was Trump's fault. Everything's Trump's fault. You guys have had control of the government 12 of the last 16 years. You've been in office for the last 4 years, and everything is Trump's fault. Trump has that powerful of a lever when even you guys yourself have said that most of the longstanding neocons and Republicans are against him, that they don't want him to get in office again. Mitch McConnell, some of the leaders in the old guard, they don't want him around anymore. Mitt Romney is one. Mitch McConnell is one. Even Lindsey Graham, even though, I mean, Lindsey Graham's a piece of crap. He even admitted, yeah, that's basically the plan. Look what's happened to Texas. And you've got somebody like Joe Rogan who is out articulating. He is a comedian. He's a podcast host. He is laying out the orchestration, the design, the strategy. And by the way, Joe Rogan voted for Bernie Sanders in 2016. You need to think about that. The evolution of Joe Rogan's mindset and philosophy has been a beautiful thing to watch. Another reason why I'm a big fan of his, and quite frankly, the whole entire world is. I mean, this guy's the number one show. He garners more influence and views than every single network in the woke fake mafia cabal and corrupt media, network media combined. I mean, it's like even 100x more than that combined. Okay. This is a guy who voted for Bernie Sanders. But even he, who recently said when he talked to Donald Trump, he said the Republican Party is now the party of rebels. It's the party that's raging against the machine. It's the party that's anti-establishment. It used to be the Democrats. The Democrats were the party that were anti-machine, anti-establishment, contrarian and nonconformists. That's changed because of people like AOC, because of people like Obama, because of people like Bernie Sanders, because of people like Kamala. It's all over. That's why Robert F. Kennedy Jr. left the Democratic Party. And he said very succinctly, one of the main reasons I left, amongst many others, is because this is an unrecognizable party. This is not the party of my uncle. This is not the party of my father, Robert F. Kennedy, or my uncle, John F. Kennedy, the icons of the Democratic Party. Somebody who Obama modeled himself after, somebody who Bill Clinton modeled himself after. You could almost say the godfathers of the party were the Kennedys. There's no bigger icon than the Kennedys. And you have Federman stuttering, looking. You notice how I don't trust people who don't look you in the eye. I don't trust people who don't look you in the eye. You notice how he kept looking everywhere but Joe Rogan's eyes. Stuttering, mumbling, shuffling, very Biden-esque. That should tell you everything right there. That should tell you everything. But wait, there's more. I can't wait to get your thoughts on that. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on that exchange with Joe Rogan and John Fetterman. Fetterman to me, somebody mentioned this in the comments. Fetterman to me seems like a big Dunsky. It's like a woolly mammoth, a kind of. And he's actually admitted many, many times. He even admitted to MSNBC in a recent interview. He said Trump's connecting more with Pennsylvania voters. It's just a fact. He does have these moments of clarity, if you will, and he's able to kind of convey quite articulately the objective truth, like almost like he didn't get the script that day. But he just reminds me of this big woolly mammoth Dunsky that has really no business or no right commanding legislation in our great republic. I don't know. Call me crazy, but he doesn't seem like somebody who has the strongest convictions or even the acumen or the skill set to be able to do that. Okay, so let's get to the actual clip that kind of fueled but let me know in the comments what you think, kind of fueled this entire show today. And we are live. Let me know where you're joining me from, what city, what state, what country. I would love to hear. If you're watching this on the replay, give me a capital TR for Team Replay. Tap the thumbs up. So they can't win. It is absolutely impossible that it's just impossible. They know they can't win. So what's their only alternative? Well, something I never saw coming. actually. Turn up your volume a little bit because I don't have subtitles for this, but I will go through this step by step. As I said before, I expect, the spew of falsities, lies, and garbage coming out of the vapid, empty, vacuous Kamala. I expect that from her. I expect utter insanity to come out of our vegetable in chief, Biden. I expect it from Ratty Raskin. I expect it from the biggest weasel pencil dick of them all, Shifty Schiff. I expect it from Pelosi and Chuck the Buck Schumer. I got to be honest with you, though, this one actually shocked me. We're days away, right? This took place yesterday, so it was days away. Now we're only 24 hours away from the biggest night of our lives. Okay. And I am going to be going live during election night. And instead of actually talking about policy, instead of actually talking about why, we still don't know why. We still have no clue why or what or where or who Kamala Harris is. We are 24 hours away, y'all, and we still have no clue where she stands on anything. I did a video on this. She just gave two conflicting, contrasting messages on the war in the Middle East. She panders to whatever demographic she's in front of. She has 12 fake accents. She is a word salad, empty vessel nothingness, encompassed within human flesh. And she has not given a real, full-blown, full-court press conference with actual, real press corps. Not one. She's given a bunch of fake, premeditated, pre-rehearsed interviews. She had one tough interview with Brett Baer, but her people jumped in there waving and flailing. You got to get her out of it. We got to stop. We got to stop. Even Brett Baer, who said afterwards, they were telling me to stop. They were flagging me down, waving me down, telling me we got to go hard. It was impossible to concentrate. That was the only real interview she had, and she bombed it. I mean, she bombed it. And the question is, if she can't handle Brett Baer, if she can't handle giving a full court press conference, how is she going to handle being the highest executive in the land? How is she going to handle the fiercest villains, leaders, the most deceptive, smart, intelligent, crafty, KGB trained leaders out there like Putin, like President Xi of China, like North Korea, like the Ayatollahs, like even Benjamin Netanyahu, like Israel. I mean, these are all very accomplished, smart. I'm not saying I like them, but you have to give them respect. You have to give them credit. These are accomplished, intelligent, fierce, tried and true leaders that have done amazing things for their country, for their own self-interests. Okay. How is she going to handle that? Do you want Trump negotiating with Al Qaeda or Kamala? Do you want Trump negotiating with Putin or Kamala? Do you want Trump negotiating with Kim Jong-il of North Korea or Kamala? Are you kidding me right now? Listen to this. This one threw me for a loop. The divider in chief, the original race baiting hustler, spreading more. I mean, we do have footage of everything, do we not? Do we not have videos? I have shared video after video after video disputing all the lies told about Trump and his supporters. Listen to this. This is unbelievable. Turn up your volume.
Maybe you're Muslim American or Jewish American, and you are heartbroken and furious about the ongoing bloodshed in the Middle East and worried about the rise of anti-Semitism. Why would you place your faith in somebody who instituted a so-called Muslim ban?
Wrong.
Who sat down for pleasantries with Holocaust deniers?
Wrong. Lie.
Who said that there were very fine people on both sides of a white supremacist rally.
Okay, so that has been debunked. I can't believe the nerve of this guy. Shame on you, Barack Obama. Shame on you. That has been debunked 8,000,006 times. You're a smart dude, okay? I don't like you. I don't support you. I think you're villainous. I think you're deceitful. I think you're duplicitous. I think you're vermin. I think you're a snake, but you're not stupid, Barack Hussein. We have footage. I have proven over and over again on this very channel all of the spewing hatred and lies that have been spread about Trump. You call us deplorables. You call us garbage. You call us Nazis. You call us Hitler. You call us fascists. You call us anti women. This is the party of joy. This is the party of tolerance and inclusivity. This is the party of moving the page and a new path forward. This is the party of lowering the temperature. This is the party of unity. Are you kidding me? And then you, who definitely has more influence than anybody in that entire party, the radical, I don't even call it democratic, the radical extreme Marxist left. You have the most influence out of everybody. And you can't tell me, an American voter who pays his taxes, who works blood, sweat, and tears to contribute, who's lost business clients, who's lost friends, who've lost family because of what I'm doing right now with my new media company, Grassroots Media Organization, with my loving, gorgeous, brilliant wife. You can't give me a solid reason to vote for her. Just like Sam Harris, who, don't get it twisted, my fellow Americans, Sam Harris is not intelligent. He's not one of the prominent thinkers in the American landscape of philosophers. He is a smug, elitist, academic, pseudo-intellectual narcissist, pure and simple. I was just talking to a neighbor the other day, and I watched the debate between Ben Shapiro and Sam Harris very recently. And I even posted this in the comments of that video. I highly recommend you go check it out. It's called The Free Press, and it was a debate between Ben Shapiro and Sam Harris. And Ben Shapiro demolished him. And if you think that Sam Harris is intelligent, if you think that Sam Harris is somebody who values integrity and honesty, which he literally talked about Trump the entire time, he was asked point blank, don't you think that people have a right to be upset that Kamala was around Biden for 4 years and failed to warn the American public of his very abundantly clear and apparent demise mentally? Don't you think that that's a credible and valid gripe? You know what his response was? Let's look at this Go watch it. This is verbatim what he said. Let's look at this proportionately. Trump is a bigger liar. Trump is a da-da-da-da. If you look at both of them neck and neck, Trump is awful. Trump is this. Trump is only about Trump. He's in the Trump business. Trump tried to overthrow our government. Trump tried to, well, wait a minute. That wasn't the question. I was actually impressed with the moderator, who seemed very, very liberal and far left. But she actually pushed back, and he's still justified in the worst. You don't care about the truth, Sam. You don't care about the truth, Barack Hussein Obama. The Charlottesville lie? This was yesterday. I mean, we're days away, right? We're only 24 hours now, but as of this speech, I think this was in Pennsylvania or Michigan. I can't remember. Who cares? At the very last second before the election, you're spreading the Charlottesville lie to millions of Americans? That's the backbone of your argument? That's the substance of what you're trying to purport and sell to the American people? What does that tell you, my fellow Americans? And this is bigger than TDS. This is bigger than Trump derangement syndrome. You have to be very, very broad with your perspective on this. You've got to follow the DNA of the funding, of the donors, of the money. We had the great Democratic operative recently on our channel in an interview who said, I quote, she said this. She said, I quote, while I was at the DNC, and this is the reason why she walked away from the Democratic Party. While I was at the DNC, I noticed something that horrified me. I noticed that everybody spent 90% of their time on the phone with donors and less than 10% of their time actually talking to voters. They look down on us. They think we're stupid. They think we don't know better. They think we're just going to sop up all this garbage and ask for seconds and nod our heads. You know who I'm talking about because you probably have a neighbor. You probably have a family member. You might even have a BFF, a best friend, an aunt, a grandmother, a sister, a cousin, a barber shop that you used to go to, a stylist, a cashier, a bank teller, a neighbor, a sister's brother's cousin's psychiatrist's boyfriend that thinks that MSNBC is gospel, that thinks that CNN, which they should change their name to DNN, Disinformation News Network, is gospel. Even CNN, I got to give them a little bit of credit. Fake Tapper's network, even CNN had to push back a little teeny bit on the whole gun barrels pointed at Liz Cheney, which was absolute fraud and the most callous and foul spreading of misinformation ever. But I expected more out of you, Barack Hussein. And maybe ignorantly and stupidly, I expected a little bit more. I expected you to actually come correct with a little bit of substance, with a little bit of concrete evidence. Tell me why I should cast my civic sovereignty, my American freedom, my American obligation, cast my vote for Kamala Harris. And the only thing you can tell me is that he's Hitler. The only thing you can tell me is more lies that he supports Nazis and he supports Holocaust sympathizers, which is all a bunch of garbage and utter BS. Shame on you. I hope you're watching right now, Barack Obama. I hope one of your stupid interns or assistants watching this, I beg of you, show this to Barack. Show it to him. Because worse than him losing my vote, worse than him losing my confidence, worse than him losing me as somebody who actually thought there was some class, just a shred of it, left in the Democratic Party, worse than all that, you disappointed, man, big time. You disappoint. And your legacy, whatever's left of it, whatever molecule or shred of it is left, has been decimated. Decimated. Just like that utter clown, Mark Cuban, John Kelly, the list goes on and on. Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney, all these stupid Holly weirdos, De Niro, Ruffalo, DiCaprio, Whoopi, all these morons. Your legacy has been decimated. Here's an example of how much legacy media is dying a very fatal death, which I love and I think is absolutely brilliant. I want to share with you this quick video of an independent voter who speaks very highly of independent media like us. I want to share this with you because this, don't go anywhere. This one's going to absolutely blow your mind. It's a very short clip, but I just want to play this for you because I think it's so powerful. But listen to what this lady says. Turn up your volume. Listen to what she says right here. She talks about being a former Democrat, somebody who voted for Obama, somebody who voted for Biden, and listen to what she says now. Watch this.
Just so you know, I didn't vote for Donald Trump in 2016. I didn't vote for Donald Trump in 2020. It was a great big awakening for me in the last 4 years, and it's a loss to the Democratic Party. They don't realize that just because you voted in the past means you're going to be loyal in the future. Your actions do actually matter.
Yeah, I think people see it a lot easier now because we've had Trump before and we've had Kamala Harris and Biden and how bad it's been. People are waking up. Can I ask you who you voted for in 2020 or in 2016?
Unfortunately, I voted for Hillary Clinton and I voted for Joe Biden, and it was the Joe Biden was a catastrophic error.
Yeah.
And again, it was me listening to mainstream media, and once all the independent people like yourself started coming out and giving us more information, I was like, well, wait a minute, I need to research this.
So you'd say that social media and independent journalism is helping?
Oh, 1,000%. Just so you
1,000%. I like to think that I have some credit in that, some hand in that. I like to think that. I thought that was really, really cool, and I definitely wanted to share that really quickly. What are your thoughts? I mean, what are your thoughts on that clip of Obama spreading the worst lie? But it wasn't even like, there wasn't even anything careful about it. There wasn't even anything smart or intelligent about the lie. It was very lazy, I guess is the right word, not smart and intelligent. It was a very lazy lie. Because anybody who has even a molecule in their head of intelligence could have just researched that. What's he talking about? There's good people on both sides. What's he talking about this Nazi sympathizing and this Holocaust sympathizing? There's plenty of footage. I've done plenty of videos completely dispelling it as a myth, a complete, utter fabrication. How could you spread that? At least be crafty about your lie. How can you? This is why, my fellow Americans, this is why. They know they can't win. They know they can't win. They know their candidate is an absolute train wreck. They know they can't win. They know she has no record. They know she has no experience. They know she has no qualifications. They know she has no skills. They know every time she talks, her approval rating goes down and down. They know exactly why she's plummeting in the polls. They know exactly why she's the most unlikable, worst vice president in the history of our country. They now are figuring out, holy mackerel, back in 2020, she pulled out of Iowa. She was in last place with a negative approval rating, not even a zero approval rating, a negative. Think about that, Nez Nation, my fellow Americans. A negative approval rating. And they are bumping their heads against the concrete in major, major regret as to why they didn't have an open primary, which is the democratic process. Remember Jim Gaffigan at the Al Smith dinner, who joked, the Democrats think that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. So what they do, they executed a coup on a sitting president and installed a puppet without a single vote or a single primary. Jim Gaffigan, who is a known Trump hater, even he was able to see, my God, you guys are the most hypocritical. That's why I call them the Hippocrats. Give me a hashtag Hippocrats. HYP. Here, I'll write it first so you can see how I spell it. They're not the Democrats. They are the Hippocrats. That's why I call them the Hippocrats, okay? Right here. That's what they're called. They're the Hippocrats. They're the biggest hypocrites in the history of the party, bar none. We have breaking news right now. It looks like reports are showing that President Trump is surging with Latino voters in Pennsylvania. Let's keep the momentum, folks. Holy macadamia nut. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, did you guys see this? This is really interesting right here. I want to share this really quickly. I thought that this was actually pretty interesting. So At the NFL the other day, did you guys see this? A guy gets kicked out. I mean, are we in a free country or are we not in a free country? A guy gets kicked out of an NFL game and for wearing a Trump shirt. I can't believe this. Are we in America or are we in America? Holy macadamia nut. Have you guys seen this? Let me know in the comments if you guys actually saw this. This to me is unbelievable. I'm going to bring this up to the stage. But this happened yesterday on Sunday. This happened where a guy was kicked out for wearing a Trump shirt. Listen to this.
Again, it's an NFL policy that he cannot wear his Trump shirt in the first row.
100% false.
100% false. Right here.
It's not a Trump shirt. It's nothing political.
Nothing political from the NFL cannot be worn at a building.
That is, we're in a free country.
We're in a free country. So according to the NFL policy, you cannot wear anything political at all. Again, it's an NFL policy that you cannot
so this guy essentially says, first he said you can't wear that. So I think the video, I think the video actually, I think the video was actually cut off. So he first said that he wasn't able to wear the Trump shirt. And then once the camera went on, he literally changed his kind of talking point and said, no. It's nothing political. And at the end there, you could see security start to come over. I'm not sharing this as sort of like, oh, look at this. This is cool. No. This is indicative, everybody. This is indicative of the kind of world. Kamala Harris has advocated for censorship. She's advocated for moderation online. And another thing that she advocates. So she doesn't want free speech. That's like a fact. Like she definitely does not want free speech. And then just recently, Kamala, who is a California, San Francisco resident, she was asked, I can't believe this. I can't wait to share this with you. If you guys haven't seen this. So she's definitely against free speech. She has said time and time again that she is going to be, she said time and time again that she's going to institute a digital oversight committee to censor X, formerly known as Twitter. By the way, you have to follow me on X. I am Professor Nez on X. I'm pretty much Professor Nez everywhere. By the way, we made the trending page on Rumble with our interview yesterday with David Rem, who told that magnificent story about how Trump's father helped him and his family when his father passed suddenly and unceremoniously, helped him with his tuition. Amazing show if you haven't seen that. And I want you to, my point is, I'm Professor Nez everywhere. She has advocated for, she's going to censor Facebook. She wants to censor Twitter. She thinks that Trump should have his Twitter and Truth Social completely banned. She said that time and time. Thank you. I got the best mods in the business. Thank you, Laura Tilford. Thank you, JB. You guys are awesome. She's got it right there. She's got it in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay too, it's in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. Good to see you, Severo Flores. Severo Flores in the house. Yes, thank you so much. And it's great to see everybody from Rumble. Good to see you, Bookworm. She was also asked, holy mackerel, I got to share this with you. This is absolutely insane. She was also asked just recently, she was also asked, what is your thoughts on Prop 36 in California, which is my home state? Now, if you don't know what Prop 36 is, allow me to enlighten, okay? If you don't know what Prop 36 is, allow me to enlighten, okay? Prop 36, and you know what? Maybe I should give a little bit more context to this. Prop 36 is essentially a new proposition here in California, which if you vote yes on 36 advocates for tougher laws on crime to get rid of the dreaded Newscomb Prop 40. I forget what prop it was, but essentially the threshold that basically gave criminals a free cakewalk of stealing $1,000 or less. Nothing can be done about it. And Prop 36 is saying, no, that should be a felony. There is no such thing as a allotted stealing and theft amount, which is absurd. In 2024, in the United States of America, we're letting criminals get away with murder. Businesses have shut down. Retail stores have shut down. The economy is shut down all over California because of this horrendous law and proposition passed by, instituted by Newscomb. And I want to share this first, actually. I want to share this video of what it's like in California right now, which is just so awful. And I think I'm going to try to find this. But essentially, if you go into any retail store and let's say you want to go to Walgreens or you want to go to CVS or any store, literally, even like Ralph's or anything like that, everything is locked up. So I want to see if I can find this video first, and then I'm going to share with you what Kamala Harris said about Prop 36, which is unbelievable, just absolutely unbelievable. What's his name? Kreitzer? What's his name? Bert Kreitzer? Yeah, Bert. Oh, Bert. Okay, Bert Kreischer. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna share this video. Walking, I think it's CVS. I think he was walking in CVS. Okay, so here I want to share this. I want to share this with you. So this is so good. This is so good. Okay, so let me know if you guys can see this right now. So this is what has become of Kamala Harris's policies. She was the district attorney of San Francisco. San Francisco is now a dystopia. It is a shadow of itself. She was then the attorney general of California. California is a train wreck. Highest taxes, history of the state. Highest budget deficit, history of the state. Highest exodus of residents and small businesses in the history of the state. Highest illegal border crossings in the history of its state. Highest self-employment tax, which is what I'm under. I have to pay self-employment tax plus state tax plus federal tax. Okay. And before you say, Nez, what the hell are you doing in California? Okay. I love it here. I love the weather, but more importantly, my kids are in school. They're young. We're not taking them out. We're committed. We're already here. We built our home. It's too late for me right now. Until they get older, we're not taking them out of school and middle school. Okay. So don't jump on your Florida high horse or Texas. I would love to go to Florida. I would love to go to Texas, but it ain't happening. Okay. If we can get our country back, there will be, because I truly believe Trump will fix California. Here is comedian Bert Kreischer, who took this video that went viral on the internet of him walking through either a Rite Aid or CVS. Listen to this. Watch this.
This is Los Angeles. Everything is gone. Look at this. This is our deodorants, I think. This place is going, I mean, this looks like it's been looted. And I guess thieves just come in and take whatever's expensive and just fucking walk out with it. This is crazy. This is unrecognizable. When I moved to Los Angeles, you'd come into Rite Aid and you'd spend the fucking afternoon looking around. This is so fucking sad.
I apologize for the language. I actually didn't know that he was going to be using that kind of language. But anyway, so that's that. Okay, that's Bert, right? And then Miss, I'm a tough prosecutor. Isn't that what she's been campaigning on, that she's a tough prosecutor? Well, look at this. Check this out. So Prop 36, just in case you don't know, okay, Prop 36 is to stop what we just saw in that video with Bert Kreischer, is to prevent and actually prosecute criminals at the felony level. And then she was asked yesterday, How did you vote? Okay. How did you vote on Prop 36? How did you vote on Prop 36? So watch this. This is absolute. And by the way, she is going to Californicate the country. If God forbid, please God, Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Please God, she can't win. She can't win. She can't win for our grandkids, for our kids. Please join me in a prayer right now. Please God, bless President Trump. Please God, bless our country with a huge win as our new president, President Trump. Please God, I beg you. Amen. Thank you. I love you. Oh, I'm not religious, but I believe in God 1,000,000,000%. There's a big difference. Listen to this. This is absurd.
Madam Vice President, have you returned the ballot to California, and how did you vote on Prop 36?
So my ballot is on its way to California, and I'm going to trust the system that it will arrive there. And I am not going to talk about the vote on that because honestly, it's the Sunday before the election, and I don't intend to create an endorsement one way or another around it.
She doesn't intend to create an endorsement around this one way or another. My fellow Americans, she doesn't stand for anything. I don't know. I mean, how many times do I need to say this? She's nothing. She's nothing. She's a big ball of nothing. I'm not going to endorse one way or another this close to the election. You went on a campaign trail advocating that you're tough on crime, advocating that you were a tough prosecutor, advocating that I was the one who went after the transnational, whatever the hell you want to call them, gangs. The worst vice president in the history of our country. She was border czar in 2021, early in Biden's illegitimate presidency. 2021. He was inaugurated January 20th, 2021. That same, I think only 2 months later, maybe March or February, I can't remember the exact date, he said, I'm putting the vice president in control of the border. The Border Patrol Union has endorsed Trump and viscerally attacked Kamala. I can't even make jokes right now. I'm so upset. Nez, why are you so upset? The polls, F the polls. It shouldn't even be close. It should be 99.1%. I'll give a percent or two. It should be 99.1% at the very least. The fact that she even has over 40% of the country is mind-boggling to me. Propaganda is a very powerful thing. She's nothing. Absolute capital N, nothing. I'm going to have a heart attack live on camera right now because this stuff drives me crazy that anybody could see that there's something worth anything to vote in this absolute empty shell. It's mind-blowing to me. You're not going to tell us how you voted on Prop 36 because you feel it's going to sway and you don't want it to endorse something? This is the absolute perfect time to let everybody know where you stand on crime. You vapid, troglodyte, empty-headed vessel of darkness. This is the perfect moment to tell us where you stand on crime. Miss Tough Prosecutor. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. It doesn't make an ounce of sense. Not an ounce. Oh, it just makes me so absolutely livid. It makes me so absolutely livid. That's what it does. So she won't talk about Prop 36. Which to me, honestly, the fact that she's saying she's not going to talk about it, I mean, that's like disqualifying. But to me, that's a resounding she voted no on 36. For the very same reason that Federman told Joe Rogan that was the plan all along. It has changed the color of Texas. It has changed the landscape of our country. We've got criminal Venezuelan thugs, Tren de Aragua, taking over apartment complexes in Colorado, taking over towns like Springfield, Ohio, Haitian immigrants. I had David Rem on our show yesterday, who was born in Manhattan, raised in Queens for over 50 years. And he said, Nez, not only have migrants taken over our city, New York City, but they're using the money, the free credit card, thousands of dollars in credit card, thousands of dollars in free Medicare, free per diems, all that stuff, free room and board, free food. They're using that money to go decimate the country, the city. They're using that money to go party and drink alcohol and buy drugs. These are not the best and brightest. These are not the Ellis Island, okay, of the early 1900s. These are not the immigrants of our parents and our grandparents and our ancestors, okay? These are the worst of the worst. Even Trump, using that chart and data, has said time and time again, you look across the world, you'll see their crime rates drop. Why? Because they're all coming over here and they're all being like a deluge, like a flood. They're all being poured into swing states. Elon Musk has said this, and it's 100. If you just, it's not even, this isn't like a supernatural theory. It's common sense. When you throw out the red carpet to these criminal migrants and you actually advertise in Mexico, Venezuela, El Salvador, Colombia, Brazil, when you actually advertise, we're going to give you free room and board, free healthcare, free amnesty to accelerated pathways to citizenship. My parents are immigrants, okay? They immigrated into this country in the 70s. My brother and I were born and raised. I was born in Logan, Utah, raised in Evansville, Indiana, Newburgh to be more specific. Okay? My parents had to go through, hell and high water to become citizens. They had to get their PhDs. They had to prove that they were going to assimilate, acclimate, be contributing members of society. You're going to give criminals, thugs, cartels free amnesty? They didn't get free health care. They didn't get a per diem. They didn't get any money for room and board. They didn't get any money for groceries. They didn't get anything to pay for their bills. Nothing. These guys are literally given the royal treatment, and they're being poured into every swing state imaginable. And she can't tell us. She doesn't want to be biased. She doesn't want to sway anything. She can't tell us if she's going to vote on Prop 36, the most important proposition to salvage some semblance of sanity back in my home state, California. Make it make sense, America. Make it make sense. You need to share this with everybody you know. You need to tap the thumbs up. It doesn't cost you a dime. It costs you zero, nada, zero, goose egg. Tap the thumbs up now. Share this with everybody you know now. This is it. We got to put on our war paint, put on our war face. This is it. We got to work harder than ever. We've got less than a day to decide this. It has to be impossible to rig. It can't just be too big to rig is not big enough. Too big to rig is not even close. We need it to be impossible to rig. That's what it has to be. Oh my God, it just drives me absolutely nuts. Look at my hair. My hair's all messed up. I don't care. Okay. What else did I want to share with you? Oh, I love this. I got to share this with you. This is powerful. Vivec. If you're a Vivek Ramaswamy fan, give me a huge yeah in the comments down below. Are you a huge Vivek Ramaswamy fan? Because I know I am. Yeah, I know Trump is speaking. I know Trump is speaking right now. He's doing fantastic. In his last, somebody said Trump is speaking right now. Yeah, I know he is. I love him. I love him to death, and I'm praying every single day to God that we get a huge landslide victory. I know that's not what today's show is about. Today's show is about fighting for Trump. I know where Trump stands. I know what he's going to say. I know every syllable, every verb, every vowel, and I love him to death. That's not what this stream is about. This stream is about exposing the truth that the fake, corrupt mafia, fake news media won't share with you. These are the real stories. I've done my due diligence. I've done my qualitative and quantitative research. My wife is the most brilliant researcher on the planet. That's not what this is about. Give me a yeah if you love Vivec. Kahuna on Rumble says yeah. Kelly says, I love Vivec. I know. Don't you love Vivec? Yeah, Robert Windsor, it's great to see you. Cash is great. Sadie, thank you, vets, for your service. Absolutely. Jack says, yeah. Stefan says, yeah. MG says, heck yeah. I love you guys. Big Sal, it's great to see you. Jackie says, yes. Howie says, yes. Robbie says, yes. Robert says, yes. I love it. I love you guys. Love you guys so much. Okay, you're going to love this then. If you're a Vivec fan, you're going to absolutely love this. A young Kamala Harris voter in Pennsylvania told Vivec she can't get ahead in America because of systemic racism. Oh my God. Are you kidding me right now? You can't be serious.
Bruh.
Oh my God. Systemic racism. Yeah, it's all victim mentality. This is the most powerful clip you will see of Vivec telling this Kamala voter who says she can't get ahead in America because of systemic racism. Listen to this. Perk your ears, turn up your volume, and peek your eyeballs on this clip and share it with everybody you know. Watch this. Oh, this is so powerful. Oh, this is so powerful. I love this. I absolutely love this. You have to see this. Okay, here we go. Check this out.
You know, being a man of color, when exactly was America great? What period was America great? And if America was great in that period, would you personally go back to it?
Would I go back to 2016 through 2020 in this country? I would, actually. I think America was great then.
And why do you think America was great?
Was America great for most of our national history? I think we were, actually. I think America was great.
During slavery, during redlining, Jim Crow laws, civil rights movement.
I think, was America perfect? No. Was America great? Yes, it was, actually. Actually, do think it was.
A very big extreme that you're jumping, because when exactly was America great? America is not great for the African American woman. America is not
I disagree.
great for.
I think there's.
Like what? Are we
can I ask you one question?
What exactly
What's your name?
I'm Felicia.
Felicia. What other country for an African American woman is better than the United States of America?
Well, I live in the United States of America, so I only want to talk about the United States of
Right,
America.
exactly. So what country, when I talk about whether America is great, I'm not talking about whether America is perfect.
Well, that's why I'm confused, because when was America great for somebody like me? You just told me
I think America's been great. Yeah, so I think America
great. You just told me where somewhere else that America was great.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just told me basically that it wasn't great
I think
me.
America is the greatest country on planet Earth for you.
How?
That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Because this is a country where you can achieve the maximum of your God-given potential by working hard.
I am an African-American woman still facing institutionalized systematic racism.
Oh,
I don't believe that.
Yes, I am.
To be true right now.
I am.
There are points in our history where that was true.
Yes,
I think
I am.
today you are free to
and
achieve.
I would like to talk about how people like to bring up affirmative action as well.
Well, let me just address your first point. Let me just address your first point.
It really
I think this is the country on earth where you're able to achieve the maximum of your potential without your skin color standing in your way. This is a country where
that's not true.
I believe it is true.
That's not true.
What are you
What
are you unable to achieve, ma'am? Felicia, what can you?
Fargo, they literally all
what
of these
do you
other
wish to
banks
achieve?
just got sued for not giving home loans to African American people. That happened in 2024.
So let me just ask you, what do you
so-called lower of the property value?
So let me tell you, Felicia,
and its ramifications.
Donald Trump is running
somebody was president.
Donald Trump is running to make America first a reality for all Americans. Let me ask you something very personal, because you made it personal to you. What do you want to achieve in this country that you believe you can't right now because somebody else is stopping you because of your race?
Well, right now, as my future career, I want to be a criminal defense attorney.
Okay.
However, as we can acknowledge, there's only 5% of Black lawyers in the United States at this current moment.
What are my question
So
is? What
I'm
are you
asking you,
unable to
why
achieve?
is
Because
that
I
the
think you can
case?
achieve
Why
that.
is
I
that the
believe in
case?
you. I believe in you
Girl, I
to
believe in me
achieve
too.
that.
I'm just saying, why is that the case?
And the numbers,
But
because
why is that
I
the
believe the
case?
number one
Why
factor.
is that the case?
I believe the number one factor that determines
Why is
whether
that
you
the case?
succeed in this country is not your
But
skin color.
why is
It is
that the
whether or not
case?
you actually
Why
put in
is
the
that
effort
the
to do what you
case?
want.
Yeah, but if you're fighting against an institutionalized system that's going to hold you down, how exactly can you
Look,
go against that?
I think that there is far greater discrimination in this country by employers against employees on the basis of their political beliefs than there is on the basis
They
of their
don't
race.
know your political
I actually
beliefs
think that
unless
that's
you express them.
well. That's if somebody
They don't know them. How are you
So
being judged
I would
on your
tell you,
political views?
I worked in New York
Like,
City for
my
10
thing-
years.
yeah.
If somebody wears that red hat, Make America Great Again, and walks in, they're going to face more discrimination than somebody who walks in with black skin. I think that's actually true.
That's
No,
true.
they're
That's
not.
true.
I think it's true,
No,
actually.
they're not. No, they're
It
not.
wasn't always true. I mean, there's points in our history where the reverse
But
was true,
look,
absolutely,
you
but not right
support
now.
Trump. I don't see you wearing a Make America Great Again hat, but what I'm saying is, all right, that's great. You did a costume change, but what I'm saying is, prior to that, you did not have that on. Prior to that, you didn't have that on. So me perceiving you, I'm perceiving you as a man. I'm not perceiving you as a MAGA supporter, Trump supporter, XYZ. I don't perceive you as that until you tell me that is. So how can you say that somebody's being judged on their political views unless you
I
make
can
those
tell you why.
political views known?
I can tell you why.
That doesn't make any sense.
I can tell you why. So I'll tell you a story of a woman. I'll tell you. I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story that you may not be aware of. All right. So there's a company where a woman, she was wearing a red sweater and held Veterans Day at every Friday to acknowledge veterans in her workplace. It was a little affinity group they created. That's what they called it. Now, there was an employee who said that he considered that to be a microaggression. The employer made her stop doing that. She said, okay, I'm just going to bring my red sweater and put it on Fridays on the back of my chair. The employer still stopped her from being able to do that too. That's political discrimination based on this an anti-racist environment we've created in America. So the irony is in the name of fighting racism, we've actually created political. She lost her job. She would lose her job unless she stops wearing a red sweater. I think it's wrong in America.
She was hired before that, though. So that means on the basis of they did not know what political.
She was about to be fired. She was about to be fired for standing for veterans.
Your whole argument was that you are
There's viewpoint discrimination in America today.
There is, but my thing is, you are saying that you got discriminated against because, or this woman in this case got discriminated against because of her political views. No one knew her political views until she came in wearing red. You are making an assumption that
I think she should be able to do that. And I think she should be able to do that.
Automatically fired her or do that stuff. They hired her because of her work ethic, because of her ability.
Let me just share something with you.
I don't know who this woman is, but
are you a senior?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior. And what are you doing for work next? You're going to do a criminal defense attorney? You're going to law school?
Yeah, right now I'm interning.
So let me just share something with you, not as a matter of politics, but it's a matter of somebody who I'm 39. I've had success in this country. My parents came from nothing. I've lived the full American dream, and I'm really grateful for that. And this is where I'm coming from when I say this. I say this to you just as a fellow citizen who wants to see you succeed and achieve your dreams. The more you view yourself as a victim, the more likely you are to be one.
Hear, hear.
The more you view yourself as empowered, the more likely you are to be empowered.
Hear, hear.
I want you to be empowered. I don't want you to see a world in which there's some invisible lines of hierarchy based on race or gender and that you're being discriminated against. Because the more you see the world that way, the more likely you are not to achieve your dreams. Versus if you look at the world and see the world that I see, and this is what America offers, to say that you have your own God-given talents, how are you going to be able to achieve the maximum of your potential? I promise you, nobody is going to stop you in modern America because of your skin color. It's just not going to happen.
They do, but okay.
Give me one. I would love to hear one example where you wanted to, where you tried to get a job and you couldn't get it because of your skin color. I'm sure that's true of people who lived in the 1950s. I'm sure it's true of people who live in the 1850s.
Now,
I'm also sure that doesn't exist today.
What you're telling me is that they're saying that I can't get a job based on my skin color. They're not going to outright say that because of different laws and policies in place, which is why the systemic racism is part of the conversation.
So look, I think that here's the thing. Here's the thing. In the 1960s, Martin Luther King said we want to live in a country where we're judged not on our color of our skin, but on the content of our character and our contributions.
Yeah.
We are 60 years
Yeah, but
later
no one-
in
no
a promised
employer,
land
no company
far
has-
greater than
no
he could have ever
employer,
imagined.
no company
We've
can
elected a
come
black
up to
president
tell
of the
you
United States.
that
We've had a
because you're
black
black,
attorney
you can't
general.
have the
We've
job.
had
They come
black
up with
success at
different
every
reasons why
level
you
in this
can't
country.
have the job.
So at
They
what
can't explicitly say that because they'll get sued. They'll get different legal ramifications. And that's where the intersectionality of the institutionalized systemic racism comes in.
So
because you
I-
can't blatantly say that. You hide
Here's-
behind
here-
policies
tell
and
me-
laws to say that.
Tell me if we can find some common ground, because that's my goal of being here. Do you agree with me? The best way to stop discrimination on the basis of race is to stop discriminating on the basis of race. Do you agree with me on that? Because I think that if you want to stop discrimination on the basis of race, let's stop discriminating on the basis of race. Can we agree on that?
You can't agree on that?
You want me to agree with it? You know what? Fine.
Jeez Louise.
So at least we can agree that's a principle.
It's a loaded statement, but okay, it's a loaded statement.
So I think that part of
Wow.
And let me give you one. You gave me a little give. I'm going to give you one give too. All right. I'm going to give you one give too. I think that, and this may surprise a lot of people in the audience, but it's true, and I'm going to say it. In the last probably year, I think we have started to see something I never would have imagined seeing 10 years ago, which is the slightest uptick of actual anti-black racism in the country. And I'll tell you why we're seeing it.
How?
It's coming as a backlash to years of affirmative action. Because when you take something away from somebody on the basis of their skin color, there's no greater way to foster racism than to take something of value from somebody based on their skin color. And it's sad to see. I don't want to see that in this country, but the best way to get there is restore merit over group quotas. And I think there's no middle ground. Either you believe in merit or you believe in group quotas. You can't have both. I stand for merit, and I think that's better for Americans of every skin color, including black Americans as well. At my company, I found a multi-billion-dollar company. I had a black executive. Okay. And I don't care about her skin color. It doesn't matter to me. I've had black executives at multiple companies I've built. I'll tell you a sad story that happened. She got her job because she was good at what she did. So I recruited her. A guy who wasn't particularly as good at his job didn't get the promotion to the position that she held. You hear the conversation. What do you hear? It says, oh, she only got her job because of her race and gender. Well, actually, in her case, that just wasn't true at all. But the reason he's able to say that is because most other companies in the industry are applying racial quotas to who actually gets those jobs. So it's not good for white Americans or Asians. It's not good for black Americans either. What we need is colorblind meritocracy in America, and affirmative action, I do think, is the biggest form of institutional racism that exists today. That's what I believe.
Booyah, booyah, booyah. You know, I don't blame this young lady, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. I had to say that just because it's a famous saying. I actually don't blame her. And this is actually very serious. I want to say this really quickly. I don't just call myself professor for kicks and giggles. Most of you guys know this. Some of you might not, that I actually taught at these indoctrination camps. They weren't universities. They weren't institutions of learning. I left the private sector. I helped my mom start a leather shoe business, handbag business, a retail store back in the early 90s. And we actually grew it, and we opened up new locations. But in my 20s, late 20s, maybe mid 20s, I was like, I just want to kind of try something different. I love literature. I love business. I love business communications. I love art. I love writing. And music. I was a musician too at that time. I thought this is why probably I voted for Obama like an idiot, until I finally grew up and engaged in real thorough research. And I went into the public sector. I went and got my master's degree, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to try to. This should be a different pace of lifestyle. Like we all do, in our mid. I mean, I had a midlife crisis when I was 19. I mean, I have a midlife crisis pretty much every 5 years, and so my brain is always cooking. So I've got thoughts and It's like I can't remember if it was Mark Twain who once said, "My introspection and my brooding is so hyperactive that when I walk by people, they can hear my thoughts." I feel the same way. It's tough for me to sleep, to get like a real restful sleep. And so I left the private sector, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'll become a professor I can still do my work. But I can actually share my love of the humanities, share my love of business communications and Aristotle's principles of rhetoric, ethos, pathos, logos, audience, purpose, message, etc., etc. And I couldn't believe I just couldn't believe it. My naivete was I was going to go into an industry and I was going to be met with warmth, invitation, collaboration, non-ego, and I was going to be in an environment that truly expressed and accepted new ways of thinking and real world application. It couldn't have been further from the truth. It was more cutthroat, more narcissistic, more elitist. I mean, you take the ego of the most, toxic hedge fund in New York City, the hedge fund CEO, and it pales in comparison to the level of elitism, narcissism, hubris, and ego that I found in academia. It was awful. It was my worst nightmare. It was the antithesis of everything I thought it was going to be. And I'm a recovering professor, you could say. And it was the reason I started my YouTube channel. The reason I started going into independent media was because I finally had a student come up to me and say, Professor Nez, I just spent $100,000 on a piece of paper and nobody will hire me. And I knew exactly why. And it broke my heart. And it was that day I quit. And I said, I'm going to give it away all for free. I'm not going to charge anybody. I mean, obviously I have businesses and I have consulting and I have academies, etc. But this channel is all free. I don't charge anything for any of this. And I work my butt off 24/8. I believe in hard work and I believe hard work always wins. We are the fastest growing independent media channel in the history of YouTube and the online ecosystem. We're almost at 500,000 subscribers, over 90 million views. Let me repeat that. Over 90 million views because of you. So I don't blame Felicia. She is a byproduct of that awful system, which has pressed and bludgeoned these innocent young people who's going to be my kid. This is the first time in the history. I never thought, if you would have told me 10 years ago that I'm actually thinking of telling my kids not to go to college, whoa, I would have been like, you're nuts. Not in a million years. Of course they're going to university. Of course they're going to get a college education. We saw what happened with Harvard, MIT. We saw what happened with Columbia, UCLA. We saw what happened. The most beautiful pageantry of exposure took place in 2024. And I was sopping it up and just gleeful as hell. Why? Because I knew this for decades. I've been ranting about this for decades. I've been fired from certain universities for saying these things that I'm saying on this channel. They are indoctrination camps. And that woman, Felicia, that African-American woman, is the perfect byproduct of that ideology that gets stuffed down their throats every single day. And if you dare dissent, if you dare try to break away from that woke ideology and those really radical left style of thinking, I mean, it's radical. It is Marxist all the way through. They hate America. They hate capitalism. I don't even know why they're in this country. I really don't. Excuse me. God bless me. Gesundheit. God bless Professor Nez, because quite frankly, probably it's the greatest channel out there. I watch it all the time. I've been on 62 days without a break, but he's been helping us get our country back. And I love Professor Nez. He always tells the truth. He's the greatest. He's not your average professor, not by any means. And he's not nasty like Kamala. He doesn't belong to Tren de Aragua. You gotta watch Professor Nez. There's nobody like him, and he's good looking. He's a good looking guy, too. Thank you, Mr. President. I love you. Thank you, Mr. President. She's a byproduct. Felicia, if you're watching, if you're listening, I get it. But something that you have zero control over, you shouldn't be worrying about. Something as arbitrary, as random, as completely out of left field as a criteria or characteristic like skin pigmentation, gender, ethnicity, background, etc., race, you have no control over that. Nobody does. Anybody who judges you based on that is discriminatory, which is why I call DEI the worst cancer that's ever afflicted our great republic, because it is literally based on building and accepting, hiring, and promoting based on arbitrary characteristics and criteria. That is discrimination. That's the antithesis of a merit-based society. That's the antithesis of American values, ideals, and principles. Best person for the job. The best idea wins, regardless of your gender, sexual orientation, or pigmentation that wraps your flesh. It's completely random, completely arbitrary. It means nothing. Goose egg, nada. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. Hasta la pasta. So I'm very, very sympathetic to the students, the young people that come out of these systems. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse if we don't do something about it. This is not a vote against Kamala Harris, who is an empty vessel, a puppet, an empty shell. She doesn't have two molecules in her brain. This is not a vote against Kamala. It's not a vote against Biden. It's not a vote against Obama. This is a vote against a system of thought, a philosophy, an ideology that is fundamentally anti-American, the exact opposite of what America stands for, period. If we want to gain decency, respect, and integrity, if we want to rebuild our institutions, rebuild our healthcare system, rebuild our criminal justice system, rebuild our ways of our ways and criteria of returning to American principles like meritocracy, if we want to rebuild the fabric of our country and return it back to what the framers envisioned, that's a vote for Trump. I mean, that's just what it is. Simple. And by the way, we're not just getting Trump. We're getting Tulsi Gabbard. We're getting Robert F. Kennedy Jr. We're getting Tucker Carlson. We're getting Vivec. Okay? We're getting a whole slew of amazing, smart, intelligent, American to the bone, the marrow of the bone. Individuals who understand the Constitution, who understand what our framers envisioned for our country. And the great document of the Constitution, through and through. And that democracy is supposed to be run by the people, of the people, by the people, for the people. Remember? They forgot. They want more government. They want more control. She's talked about confiscation of our guns, y'all. You're going to take away my ability, my Second Amendment right to arm myself? Are you out of your mind? You want to promote censorship? Are you out of your mind? You want to let more people into my country who are the worst, not the best and brightest, but the worst of the worst, the filth, the swamp, the toilet bowl of the world? You want to let them into my country? Give them the red carpet when we've got American veterans who are homeless? Are you kidding me? I don't think so. I don't think so. Not on my watch. So get out and vote. Please, for the love of God, get out and vote. Don't trust any poll, especially these ridiculous Democratic polls that are coming out and saying Harris is leading. Don't trust any poll out there. Not one single poll. Don't trust any of them. You have to vote. If you haven't voted by now, you have to vote. Like literally now, you have to vote. I want to leave with a great. This is a really cool video from RNC spokeswoman Elizabeth Pipko, who talks about her parents coming from the former Soviet Union and she just spoke at Trump's rally. I want to leave with this. So check this out. This is absolutely brilliant. This is freaking awesome. So check this out.
My parents came here from the former Soviet Union with $90 each in their pockets, definitely never imagining that this would be their daughter's life one day. But here we are. I remember as a little girl sitting on my grandfather's lap, who I hope is smiling down on me and all of us right now. And we would sit and we would sing along to the national anthem. And he always told me one day, far into the future, you're going to wake up and realize just how lucky you are to be an American.
USA, USA, USA.
I think it's safe to say I feel pretty darn lucky right now. I never tell the story, but I feel like my secret might be safe with a few of you in here. When I was growing up, I was a competitive athlete. I thought I was going to go to the Olympics one day, and then I got injured and I lost my dream. I was a broken, lost 19-year-old girl in early 2015 when my little brother, my absolute best friend and the smartest person on the planet, came to me and said, I have two things to tell you. Number one, I just heard a rumor that Donald Trump is going to run for president. If that happens, he will in fact be the next president of the United States. And number two, if you want to fix your life, get back on your feet and find a little inspiration, start watching Donald Trump's videos, start reading his books, and get your life together. So I did. A year later, I started volunteering for the 2016 Trump campaign. A few months later, my brother and I were offered jobs as two of probably the youngest staffers on that campaign. And then a couple of weeks later, we were a teeny tiny piece of the team that made American history. And tomorrow, I very much look forward to standing right by my little brother's side and watching Donald Trump make American history once more.
Woo! That's just fantastic. That is just fantastic. I absolutely love that. So we are going to be going live tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. That is going to be 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. That is when the first polls start to close, and we're going to really start to see what's happening with the swing states. I don't know how long I'm going to be going live. I don't know. To me, there's really, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this. To me, there's really only two things. I told my wife this morning. There's only two things that I think that could be the outcome. Either number one, it's going to be a landslide, which it should be. Like if they don't interfere and they don't pull anything funkadelic, it should absolutely be a landslide for Trump. It's either going to be that. It's definitely not going to be a landslide for Kamala, like not even close. It's going to be either a landslide for Trump, a la 1984 Reagan, or it's going to be another 2020 BS crap where we've got the swing states. I mean, I never in my life, and I refused at that time, maybe just out of a heartbreaking affinity for my country. I refused to believe that 2020 was rigged in any way. I refused back in 2020, or 2020. But I remember telling my wife, I go, I've never in the history of my life ever seen an election where I went to sleep the night before and one candidate was 10 points ahead or 8, like it was like 5 to 8 points ahead in every swing state. Trump had Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. He was ahead in all of those states. And I wake up the next day and I see that god awful, abhorrent, repulsive image of Kamala on the phone congratulating Joe Biden. Never in the history of my life have I ever seen that before. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe it. But it happened. And so I dread that happening again. I believe in my heart we're more prepared now than we were in 2020. I believe that because of what happened in 2020, because of the new information and research that I've uncovered in the last 4 years, because of the new breakthrough discoveries that have been made in the last 18 to 24 months, I think we're more prepared now than we ever have been. Meaning, we've got enough ballot watching, lawyers, provisions, provisos, parameters, and buffering that I hope will fortify any efforts to make sure that integrity remains intact and thwart any efforts to try to cheat and steal. So I really, really feel in my heart that the integrity of this election tomorrow will be intact. I feel that. Am I nervous? Am I skeptical? Is that part of my brain? The eternal doubter, little dude that lives inside every human being's head? Is he chammering and chipping and sipping and clapping in my brain? Hail to the yeah. But I'm trying really hard not to listen to that dude. I'm trying to ignore that dude and not let that dude win. But you gotta vote, man. You gotta vote like every single fiber of your being and your existence. It's not just for your kids, your grandkids. It's not just for the future of our glorious republic. Like our very existence, the reality we know right now. This is about shifting, transforming, a return to sanity, a return to peace, a return to the America that we grew up in. And I truly believe, what about this ticket? I truly believe after Trump, we will more than likely see a J.D. Vance, Tulsi Gabbard ticket or a J.D. Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy ticket. I truly believe Vance is going to run in 2028. I 100% believe that. Senator Hawley would be great. Josh Hawley is fantastic. I love him from Missouri. But we will be live tomorrow night. So if you haven't already, sign up for our free newsletter. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's in the pinned comment right now. Just click that link. Click on the option that says free newsletter. This is sort of like your insurance policy because YouTube and Rumble and all these platforms, they're known, to not always notify you. They're known to even, dare I say, suppress and censor sometimes. This is your insurance policy. I know when Nez is live. I know when the next video comes out. I know the next breaking news that the fake, woke, corrupt media won't share with me because Nez does his due diligence, his qualitative and quantitative research. I know what I need to know about my great country. This is your insurance policy, so you never miss out. And it's free, and it takes you less than 5 seconds. You literally click on the link, click on the option for free newsletter, bada boom, bada bing, put in your best email, and that's it. Click submit, and you're done. You're in. You're part of the greatest community on planet Earth. So do that right now. And it would really mean a lot to me if you can tap that thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Rumble, follow me on X, follow me everywhere so you don't miss out. I'm never going to stop. This is the most purposeful I've ever felt in my entire life. And you better believe, God forbid, if she wins, I'm going to be fighting like hell the next 2 years to make sure we get some guardrails in place. But that's not going to happen. Oh, dear Lord, dear Father in heaven, please don't let that happen. Please, God, I beg you with every fiber of my being, bless our great republic, the United States of America. by anointing and electing the rightful president, President Donald J. Trump. Please, God. Amen. Oh my God. I love you. I love you. Please, God. Please pray for Trump. Please pray for our country. Please pray for our grandkids. Please pray for our kids. Pray for our great republic. Pray for all the millions of veterans, the millions of Americans who've sacrificed over the last 250 years so that we are afforded in a lot of these amazing civil liberties and freedoms. Number one, Kamala doesn't represent America. You ever see an American flag at a Kamala rally? I see Ukrainian flags. I see Palestinian flags. You ever hear chants of USA or America at a Kamala rally? No, not even close. I don't even think she likes America, let alone loves it. I don't even think she likes America. She just likes power. She just wants to feel important. Low IQ, low brow, they value material things. They value external validation. Real leaders, real successes, real people of faith, love of God, family, and country, they have internal validation. They have the greatest wealth because it's not based on material. Their wealth is wealth of spirit. Who do you think has a greater wealth of spirit, Trump or Kamala? Let me know in the comments, for the love of God. Okay, I want to give some shout outs to everybody. I love everybody who showed up. Jim Barron, it is so awesome to have you. Jim Barron, everybody give a huge round of applause for Jim Barron and Laura Tilford, because they are our two main mods. I love you guys. You guys are absolutely terrific. You have every bit of contribution to the growth of our amazing independent media company as I do, my wife does, or anybody else. So I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. KRO, thank you so much for the $9.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Mr. Malak, thank you for the $10 super chat. America can't afford a fourth term of Barack Obama and Kamala, because his third term with Biden was terrible. 100%. I couldn't agree more. Jim Barron with another gifted Professor Nez membership. So I'm going to say this now and for the first and last. As Jim Barron and Laura and others have enjoyed, when you become a member of our channel, okay, there's a big join button down below. Also, the mods will share a way for you to join if you're interested. You not only support the greatest channel on planet Earth trying to get our country back and uphold the truth, integrity of the Constitution. Not only that, that's enough, but not only that, you automatically get registered into our free live stream giveaways. I have given away thousands of dollars in Amazon gift cards, hats, buttons, merch, hoodies, shirts, you name it. And it's going to get crazier. I've got so much more live stream giveaways planned. Okay. You also get a special badge next to your name, shout outs in live streams, boost engagement, comment engagement, top priority comment responses, as well as when we have a guest on, like we've had David Rem, amazing speaker at the MSG rally. We had Democrat operative Evan Barker, who left the Democrat Party. She raised millions and millions of dollars for the Democrats. She left. She's gone. She saw the corruption firsthand. She said, I'm done. I quit. We've had Ashley Merchant on, attorney at large in the Fani Willis case, and so much more. We've got more guests coming. We got the Pitbull Sadow still slated to come once this entire Fani Willis debacle finally ends sometime in 2026. So you get top live Q&A responses. You get to ask our guests questions. You get so many amenities and benefits. On top of all that, you also get access to our members-only Discord. This is a thriving, engaging, awesome, collaborative online community of like-minded patriots. I'm in there too. We share things we can't share anywhere else. What's stopping you from becoming a member? For the love of God, hello. It's very obvious, just like voting for Trump. It just makes sense. So join. I would join if I were you. You get all of that. Thank you, Jim. 3540 crew, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. In Kamala's defense, 1:30 on SNL is more in her wheelhouse versus a meaningful 2-3 hour podcast of seriousness. Yeah, you're probably right. Thank you for the $5 chat, 3540. She's still scum. Norma Nunez, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Norma. Big Sal up north. How are you, brother? I can summarize the divide in our country very simply. The Democrat Party, the party of Cardi B and J-Lo. If we don't win, RIP USA. Thank you for the $5 super chat. We have RFK Jr., we have John Voight, we have Buzz Aldrin. Like, this guy walked on the moon. Did he? Wait, did Buzz Aldrin, or was Buzz Aldrin in the Apollo? I forget. Anyway, he was an amazing astronaut. I know that. We've got RFK Jr. We got Tulsi Gabbard. We've got amazing people supporting us, and they get J-Lo, the most hated celebrity. I don't think a lot of you guys are on TikTok. I have only one account on TikTok. So many people steal my videos, and TikTok is a disaster. But there have been more viral videos that have come from TikTok and other places too, YouTube as well, of people who have had encounters with J-Lo. She is the most hated, vapid. She doesn't tip. She expects to be treated like a queen. She's been known to call her followers and people who are not rich and famous like she is, peasants. Peasants. That's what she calls people who buy her crappy music and go to her crappy movies. She's the most hated celebrity. She's on the P. Diddy list. She dated P. Diddy, for crying out loud. And Cardi B, that trash? Are you kidding me right now? Give me a break. Get out of here. Thank you, Big Sal. Congratulations, Jim Williams, on becoming a new member. That is awesome. Yanisa Tucker has been a member for a month. Congratulations, Yanisa. If you can share Candace Owens' video on K-Mom and her work in the North, what's she involved in? Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Yanisa. I'll definitely look into that. Thank you. Marley Anna gifted one Professor Nez. Marley, thank you so much. God bless you. That really means a lot to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's great to see you. Dana Wright with the $2 super chat. All California businesses should be drive-through only. Thank you so much, Dana. I appreciate you. In-N-Out. In-N-Out is actually, they closed an Oakland location because crime was too high. Can you imagine that? In-N-Out, the most successful business probably in the history of California, if not bigger than that. They've never closed a single location since their inception. And they closed a location in California. Why? Because of Newsom and Kamala's crime policies. They care more about criminals than they do people who live here, hard-working taxpayers. That's a fact. It's a fact. You won't even tell us how you voted on Prop 36? Shame on you, Camilla. Big Sal up north, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I've never carried this amount of anxiety into any election. I'm with you on that, brother. When we vote knowing that they are trying to take our voice away permanently. 100%. Big Sal, I'm a big fan of Big Sal. I love you, brother. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Robbie Reeder, one of the newest but really awesome mods and just an amazing member of our channel. Robbie, R squared. It's great to see you, brother. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. No one has the right to tell you or me how to protect myself, property, or anyone I love. And that, Robbie, thank you so much. That's what the framers envisioned too. That's in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. She doesn't even know how to spell the Bill of Rights, let alone knows what's inside it. Thank you, Robbie. Goddess of Truth, GOT. Got. Trump needs to cancel. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Trump needs to cancel the dim and rat party with RICO and treason charges so they can't come back. 100%. I don't even think you can call them the Democrats. Yeah, demon rat is perfect. I call them hippocrats. They're awful. They're unrecognizable. Even Bill Maher, who I can't stand Bill Maher. He's so out of touch, out of his depth. He should retire with grace. He's not because he's greedy. I hate Bill Maher. I can't stand Bill Maher. But even Bill Maher, who's an old school libertarian, he says the Democrats are unrecognizable. When you lose Bill Maher and even CNN calling you out, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for the Democrats. And quite frankly, probably this could be the end. They're nasty people, very nasty people. And I think it's time to vote MAGA because we can't take this anymore. Listen to Professor Nez. He's a smart guy, really smart guy. Quite frankly, probably the best and smartest guy on YouTube. I watch him all the time. Listen to him and you'll know the truth. Thank you, Mr. President. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you. And I voted for you 3 times. 4 times? No, wait. 2016, 2020, 2024. Yep. MG, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on DOD newest directive? Yeah. The Department of Defense's newest directive, if you don't know what MG is talking about, where literally they can go in and take away citizens. They can attack citizens. It's awful for misinformation, for whatever they deem in their own definitional terms. It's awful, MG. And this is all Kamala and Biden. It's all Kamala and Biden, MG. Thank you so much. MG has just gifted 5 Professor Nez memberships. MG is an amazing mod. She's an amazing contributing member. She is the example. She is the symbol of being a part of a community and not being so verbose and always chiming in on everything, but just being thoughtful, considerate, tactful, intelligent, and participating, engaging in an authentic way. I appreciate you, MG. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you. GOT with a $5 super chat. Professor Nez, thank you, GOT. What happens if Trump only wins by a margin and the demon rats try to refuse to certify the results or install? It's not going to happen. Impossible. Even Trump, who, pardon me, I need some water. Even Trump left, and he was vehement that he didn't lose. And it's impossible. Not going to happen, because the downfall of that and the ramifications of that for they only care about one thing. Ratty Raskin and all those mooks, they only care about one thing, which is re-election, because there are no term limits. There's no term limits on the Senate. And they only care about one thing, re-election. So if they actually engaged in something that anti-constitutional, it would follow them around forever. So that's not going to happen. And it doesn't matter, because the voters decide. And if he is, finally named the winner, if he's finally identified through the democratic process as being the winner, then there's nothing they can do about it. They can say all that crap. They can try to do all that crap, but there's nothing they can do about it. Won't happen. Not going to happen. Yanisa Tucker, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Undecided voters must watch what Kay's mom was involved in for work. Candace did the work for us. Please research scary stuff. Thank you, Yanisa. Definitely. Thank you so much. Robbie Reeder, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Don't trust the polls. Vote. 100%. Don't trust. I don't care if it says Harris is ahead, which she's not. I don't care if it says Trump is ahead by 10 points, 20 points, 100 points. We cannot be, don't be swayed. Here's my best advice. I advise you, my fellow Americans, Nez Nation, don't be swayed by the noise. Don't be swayed by the noise. This is mission critical. This is mission critical. This is DEFCON 1. Not only do you need to vote, not only do you need to vote like the wind, you need to drag everybody you know to the ballot box. You need to drag your brothers, sisters, cousins, boyfriends, dogs, psychiatrists, hairstylists to the polls. Everybody you know. Get Grandpa Joe. What did Trump say? Harry, you gotta go vote. Get off your fat ass and go vote. Somebody tell Harry he's gotta vote. It's time. Get off the couch, Harry. I thought that was so good. He's just so, how do you not love this guy? So don't believe the polls. The polls don't mean anything. Here's the truth. The fact of the matter remains. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Nobody does. Not myself, not Fox, not anybody you like to watch, listen to, none of the woke stations, none of them know what's going to happen tomorrow. Nobody does. So any prediction, any map that you see online or map that you see on TV, radio, whatever you want to call it, don't trust it. Don't believe it. Get out there and vote. Vote, vote, vote. Don't be swayed by the noise. Please, I beg of you. Thank you, Robbie. Great advice. Great work. Thank you, Greg Hamlin. Greg Hamlin, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. I really appreciate you, Greg. Thank you so much. Look at Robbie with a welcome message. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat, Robbie. Welcome all new members. Yes, welcome all new members. Go join our Discord. You are involved and a part of the greatest online family you can imagine. And by the way, it's not just going to be online. I'm going to be planning meet and greets. I'm going to be planning in-person events. I might even rent out an entire warehouse where we can have a party and just hang out and meet each other. Good food, whatever, good drink. I'm going to do that. It's going to happen. So it's not just going to be an online community. We're going to take this to whole new heights. I'm never going to stop. I plan on taking this channel to the moon and back. So hang with us. We got a lot of plans. You know me. I work 24/8. And I'm never going to stop. I love you guys. So welcome. This is the place to be. Sam, welcome to being a new member, Sam Winglow. It is great to have you here. I hope you listened and heard everything I said about all the amenities and benefits, as well as where the Discord is. Welcome. Holy macadamia nut. Look at that. Grandpa Barney with the $49.99 super chat. Grandpa B. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate that. Much love, your badass. I love it. Thank you, Grandpa B. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Wow, I'm overwhelmed. That's terrific. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Grandpa Barney. You're awesome. Fast67FB, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much, Fast67FB. Appreciate you. Thank you, Brad, for the $1.99 super chat. How do you still live in California? Did you not hear what I said? I got kids. They're in school. It's a long story. Okay. Plus, I love California. I love it. It is the greatest weather on planet Earth. It is the greatest area to live on planet Earth. It's just governed like crap. And hopefully we're going to change that. Thank you, Brad. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Leonardo Knight just became a YouTube member. Thank God. Leonardo, welcome to the family. It's great to have you with us. Congratulations. Awesome. Dosom Diff, thank you for the $5 super chat. New here from AZ. You are fantastic. Wish I could speak as steadily and naturally as you. Trump impression on point. Dosom Diff, thank you so much. I've been doing this a very long time, meaning not only have I been a broadcaster, live streamer, content creator for over 10 years, 15, 20 years, but I've also been a speaker, public speaker, still am a public speaker, professional speaker. I taught at the universities. You could almost say when you're a professor I don't just call myself professor for kicks and giggles. When you've been a professor at universities, every single day you go to work, you're giving a public speech. Think about that. I don't know what kind of line of work you're in, but if you're in like upper management or C-suite specifically, and more maybe aptly, you're bound to give presentations to not only your team or not only to your bosses or supervisors, but maybe even to shareholders, customers, clients, events, etc. When you're a professor, you're doing that every single day. Every single day is a presentation. So it was a natural kind of, it was a natural sort of transition into live streaming and content creation. So don't get it twisted. This is years and years, this molding and crafting of this perfect specimen that you see before you. I can see my wife's eyes going, oh, here we go. She's rolling her eyes, metaphorically rolling her eyes right now. But yeah, thank you. That really means a lot to me, Dosum Diff, but I have worked my butt off. I have failed miserably time and time again. I have dealt with anxiety and depression in my life, major anxiety and depression. Anxiety is kind of always there. You can't never really, you have control over it and you can quell it. And there's different, I believe in mindfulness and other techniques, not drugs. I hate drugs. I hate drugs. I don't even like taking aspirin. I hate drugs with a capital H. But it took years and years and years and years of hard work to try to hone this. And that right there, what you just said, I wish I could speak as steadily and naturally. This sort of natural, by the way, I never use a script. Never. I never use a script. I never use a teleprompter. I don't have notes. I never ever use that. I do my research. I dig into research and data and analytics, and I literally like download it into my brain, and I work really hard to do that and digest it in my anatomy, and then I deliver it extemporaneously. Meaning, if it doesn't come across natural and authentic, I would just rather not do it. Then I'm just a robot. I can't do that. So thank you so much for noticing that. That really means a lot to me, Dosum Div. Thank you. Not again. Not again. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. She wants to remove your ability to defend yourself from her. I'll fight Tyson if I can. Remove his arms. Yeah. Thank you, not again. 100%. 100%. So you know what you need to do? You need to vote like the wind, brother. Vote like the wind. Thank you, not again. Not again to Kamala. Not again to Biden. We need to return to glory in our glorious republic. Jesus Shargalov. Jesus Shargalov, thank you so much. And congratulations on becoming a brand new member. That is awesome. That is badass. Congratulations. Welcome to the greatest family on planet Earth. It's great to have you here. Hopefully you were listening to everything I was saying about all the amenities and all the beautiful benefits that you get on top of everything else. But fantastic. Oh, you know what? I need to go to Rumble too, because I think I have some members there, some new subscribers. I want to give you guys some shout outs too. Hopefully we got yeah, I was listing off the members from I was actually listing off the members on YouTube, but I love it. Rumble, we are growing like crazy. We actually got on the trending page not that long ago on Rumble. So thank you so much, everybody on Rumble. You guys rock. We're live on Rumble. I want to give a big shout out to Jesus C. Rome for the $5. Vote. It is the first thing that will deny Harris from continuing the backward slide of the USA. Yes, into socialist government, our freedoms are very important, and it is the lower ones that matter most. Thank you, Jesus. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you, Jesus. That is awesome. I love my Rumble fam. And you know what? Quite honestly, I think Rumble's doing a really great job of, big shout out to Norman Lee. I can't get my comment. I can't get the super chats. I can do comments on Rumble, but for some reason I can't do the super chats here on Rumble. So, Jesus C. Rome, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Randy says, first time listener, great job, Professor Ness. Thank you, Randy. Welcome aboard, brother. It is awesome to have you. You know, my ultimate goal is this. I want to first say thank you to Norman Lee Smith for the $4.99 super chat. An anthem is born. Trump 24, Save America again is live on Spotify. Oh, I'll check that out. Thank you, Norman Lee Smith Music. That's awesome. Thank you, sir. Or madam. I don't want to presume. You know, my ultimate goal, I'm going to be completely candid and honest with you right now. Rumble has talked to me. Rumble has reached out to me. Okay, the powers that be. I've talked to the CEO, Pavlovsky. I've also talked to the chief content officer. They've reached out to me, and they have promised me, and we've talked about some beautiful ways in which we can expand and grow Rumble. Rumble, to me, is like X, where free speech is at the forefront. The only problem is, and yes, Google owns YouTube, and yes, Google is definitely woke. Google is definitely a more left-leaning. They've donated a lot to the Democratic Party. We're also live on Twitch and we're live on Facebook. Meta seems to be coming around a little bit. Again, I'm Professor Nez everywhere. So all you need to do, if you want to follow, is I'm literally Professor Nez everywhere. I want you to follow me on X and Rumble mostly, but if you like to watch on Facebook or Twitch, I'm at Professor Nez everywhere. And so thank you so much, Brad, $9.99 super chat. We are voting like never before, but we are all skeptic if it even matters. It matters. Don't think like that. Don't think like that. No, Brad, don't think like that. It matters. The 2020 election in some of those swing states were decided by literally 80,000 to 10,000 votes. That's nothing. That's less than 0.1/10%. I mean, that's nothing. Every vote. I know I've heard it a million times my whole life too, and I thought it was BS. It matters more now than it ever has in the history of our republic. 1,000%. So please, I beg you, don't think like that. Don't promote that kind of thinking. We need everybody. We need a red wave. We need a red tsunami, not just a red wave. We need a red tsunami so we can make America sane again. That's all I want. You know, they call me a right-wing nut job. I actually am not right or left. I'm a constitutional centrist, if anything. I don't like to really label myself anyway. I love my country. I love God. I love my family. And yeah, I want a secure border. Yeah, I don't believe we should defund the police. I think we should refund the police. I think that's insanity. Yeah, I think DEI is discriminatory. And I think we should hire the best person for the job and the best idea wins, regardless of race, color, creed, sexual orientation. Yeah, I don't think we should be giving kids before the age of consent life-altering, irrevocable transition surgeries and giving them puberty blockers before the age of consent without knowing what the long-term healthcare ramifications are. It's insanity. Does that make me a right-wing nut job? If it does, then call me a right-wing nut job. Yeah, I don't think we should be sending all our taxpayer money to fund forever wars, hundreds of billions of dollars when Americans are suffering now here. That's nuts to me. If that makes me a right-wing nut job, then go ahead, call me that. But I'm telling you right now, Brad, this is every little vote counts. It has to be a red tsunami again. I just want America to be sane again. I want to live in the America I grew up in. Do you remember how breathtakingly, no complexities? Life was simple. It wasn't complex. Things made sense. Tax codes made sense. Yeah, there was a little bit of pull and tug here and a little shifty this and crap here, crap there. But overall, generally speaking, everything was resembling peace. Everything was resembling respect. You could disagree with somebody and not hate them. I mean, families have been disowned. Friends have been, best friends for life have crumbled. It's so divisive. And I truly believe Obama is the divider in chief, and the media that backs them is the propagator of this propaganda. And it has created twisted wigs. It has twisted enough wigs in America that it has caused a psychosis. And it's something, if somebody does a deep dive into that, I mean, I've done as much as I can. Somebody needs to do such a deep dive into that, a research study into that. I'm telling you, when that comes out, it will be the largest scandal we've ever seen in man-made history, in humankind history. I promise you, because it is a scandal of the ages. Scandal of the ages. The worst mistake America ever made. And I voted for him in 2012. The worst mistake that anybody, this whole entire republic, our country, the world has made was we thought and believed in this bullshit idea of hope and change by Barack Obama. When he was the most divisive, he was the one who sowed the most negative and race-baiting, race-hustling rhetoric of all of them. He was a disgrace, still is a disgrace, as you saw what I just showed you. So we can't think like that, Brad, please. And I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you, Norman Lee Smith Music. I'm going to check out your channel. I love your cover art there. Thanks for all you do, Professor. Thanks for all you do, Norman. I appreciate you. Thank you, Brad. And those 80,000 votes were BS, and you know it. $4.99 super chat. No, well, that's why I keep saying, Brad, we need to make it impossible to rig. It can't just be too big to rig. I appreciate your skepticism. Believe me, I'm skeptical. Everybody's skeptical, especially after in 2020, like I said, when I went to bed that fateful night in November in 2020, and Trump was ahead in every single swing state, I thought, thank God we're going to get him back. Thank God. They're not going to vote for this lunatic Biden, this vegetable. I saw signs of dementia even in that first debate. I saw signs of dementia when he was campaigning in 2020. It was all there. I believe me, Brad, I appreciate your skepticism. I appreciate your questioning and distrust. 100%. You have every right, and they're 100% valid. But we need to not promote this idea that our vote doesn't count. We can't promote that. That's exactly what they want, Brad. That's what the radical, they're not Democrats, they're Hippocrats. That's what the radical extreme Marxist left wants us to think. They want Republicans. Why do you think they're now advertising this BS Iowa poll? Trump is going to win Iowa by a landslide. They're actually posting this ABC poll. Ooh, the Dave Muir network. That's the Dave Muir network. Remember Dave Muir in that debate with Kamala and his sidekick, whatever, Jebediah Jones, whoever the hell she was? That's David Muir's network, Brad, and my fellow Americans. They want us not to go to the polls. They're trying, it's a psyop. It's literally a psyop. They're trying to dissuade American voters from going to the polls, specifically Republicans, specifically, even more specifically, Trump supporters. So while I validate your skepticism, and while I say you have every right to be skeptical, I just don't want that kind of ideology. Does that make sense, Brad? I hope you understand that. I love you guys. Wow, we've been live for over 2 hours. I usually don't do these kind of long. I'm not Rogan. I might be one day. We're going to be bigger than big. Quite frankly, probably I think Professor Nez will be the biggest of them all. He's not nasty like Kamala, like ABC and CNN. You know what they say about me? They say a lot of nasty things about me. But Professor Nez is the best YouTube channel, the best podcast on the internet. I listen to him all the time because he tells the truth. And quite frankly, probably he's the only one to listen to. And he's a good-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy, isn't he? Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. God bless you. I'm never going to stop working for you. I'm never going to stop working for my grandkids. I'm never going to stop working for my kids. I don't want America to flourish for 100 years. I don't want America to flourish for 100 centuries. I want America to flourish for 100 trillion years ad infinitum, because I would be dishonoring the millions who sacrificed their lives. The balls of our founding fathers, the courage to look at tyranny in the face and secede and declare their independence from the evil tyranny of King George of Great Britain. I would be dishonoring them. You know, they faced hanging. They faced treason. Their families, businesses, lifestyles, livelihood desecrated. There was wanted posters everywhere in Philadelphia, Boston, Massachusetts, New York. Back in 1775, 1776, 1777, 1778. And they still said, no, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and they are endowed by the great Creator with the inalienable rights of happiness, liberty, and the pursuit, truth, justice, happiness, the pursuit of happiness, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Sorry, I know I got some other words wrong, but I get so passionate. Too much coffee. But I'm telling you right now, this is why I do this. This is my purpose. I feel God is talking through me. I really, truly believe that. This isn't just some sort of fake BS crap. I really feel the locomotives in my veins, in my chest, of the people who came before us, who sacrificed so much. And I can't stand it any longer. I can't stand to see what's happening to my great republic any longer. And with your help, we can get bigger. I believe media is the greatest power. That's why propaganda has created TDS. That's why propaganda has Kamala even having a chance. It should be 99% in favor of Trump. If it wasn't for the propagandist media, it would be 99% President Trump. Propaganda is a powerful thing. We need to fight. Just like President Trump announced, just like President Trump gave us the conviction. We need to fight like no other. I don't want America to flourish for 100 years, 100 trillion years ad infinitum, for infinity. This republic deserves fighters. And there's no great story. There's no great narrative. The Constitution is the greatest composition that's ever been invented in man-made history. This is the greatest government. We have a bicameral legislation. We have separation of powers, executive, judicial, legislative. Every country would die to have this beautiful, glorious system that we have, these guardrails, the infrastructure that we have, the architecture of idea, thought, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Walt Whitman, Thomas Jefferson, self-reliance, critical thinking. That's our sovereignty. Don't get me cooking on this, y'all. I've got American flags running through my blood. Don't get me cooking, because I could say this and talk about this all day, every day. That's a fact. That's why I do this. I could give a rat's ass about anything else. Do I ever ask you guys for money? I never ask for money. I never ask for money. I only ask that you like, which is free. I only ask that you share, which doesn't cost you anything. And I ask you to comment and watch the videos, which only costs you time. If you're interested, I don't even force you to do that. If you're interested, I never, ever, ever want you to pay me jack. If anything, I'm giving away. I don't want anything. I believe media is the greatest influence. We need to educate our fellow citizens, because when we have an educated citizenry, they make educated decisions. And when they make educated decisions, that's good for you. That's good for me. It's good for our grandkids. It's good for our future. It's good for everyone, especially at the ballot box. God bless you. I love you, every single one of you. I'm about to lose my voice. We're going to go live tomorrow. We're going live tomorrow. Election night live. We're going to go live tomorrow. I want to see you there. 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Sign up for the free newsletter. It's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. In the pinned comment and show notes. I love you all. Yanisa says, I will join. I'm a clinical researcher. You're in, Yanisa. Love you. You can share in the Discord. Share all your research with me. Norman, Nez Rocks, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Norman. I really appreciate you. Thank you. I feel terrible that I messed up the most beautiful line of all time. I'm just too excited. I love my country, man. I love my country. I bleed red, white, and blue, man. It's in the marrow of my bones. I don't have any scripts. I don't have any teleprompter. I got God, y'all. God's in here. He is my teleprompter. He is my script. He's in here in my chest like a locomotive. I've never been more inflamed with purpose than I am now. Ever, ever. And I'm never going to stop. I hope and pray that you will join me. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you're with us tomorrow. Make sure, more importantly, don't give me anything. You don't have to give me anything. More than anything, please make sure you vote. Please make a father happy. And if you've already voted, or if you plan on voting, give me a thumbs up emoji in the comments. Give me an American flag. It could just be a yes, I voted, or an American flag, or a thumbs up emoji in the comments. Let me know. It would just make me so proud and so happy that you executed your constitutional sovereignty. It would make me so proud as an American, as a father, as a husband, someone who loves God and country. Just let me know that you voted, or let me know that you plan to vote. I love you guys. And as always, may God bless you. May God bless J.D. Vance and President Donald Trump. And may God bless the USA.